Oh yeah. Damn, same hole. Love it. We are doing our monthly training drill at Modern Day Rifleman Network, and we're going to be talking about plate reads and visual acuity and kind of priming the brain to see what we want it to see when we are looking for feedback on targets at distance. But before we do that, I have to get this rifle zeroed. To start that process, I put the rifle completely together the other day. I've got a Proof Research carbon fiber wrap barrel in there. It's a 223 Wylde. It's in a Nucleus, American Rifle Company Nucleus with Thunder Beast Ultra 7. And as you guys can see, I've got a Mark 5 3.6 to 18 in the KRG X-Ray chassis. So we're going to get this thing boresighted because I just put the scope on, and the first thing that we're going to do is pop the windage cap off. And with the Leupold Mark 5, this is super easy. And if you guys are using whatever scope you have, you're just going to want to take off your caps and get at your windage and elevation dials so that way you can freely move them. Because what we're going to do is we are going to drive the line of sight to generally where the bore is. Now, you guys have probably heard about trajectory diagrams and how the line of sight is in relationship to the line of bore. So all we're doing with this is we have to ensure that once we put the scope on, that the general line of sight through the scope is roughly intersecting the line of bore through the barrel at the distance at which we want to zero. And in this case, it's at 100 yards. So I know that this sounds really Barney style and mundane. However, we still have people showing up to our intro classes that don't understand how to bore sight their guns. And they're like, I don't even know if I'm going to be on paper. So once you understand that concept of we have a line of sight that is basically a laser line, and then the line of departure, which would be your line of bore coming from the rifle, is also a laser line. So those two things are angled. And so what we have to do is make sure that the line of sight is co-located somewhat close to the intersection of the line of bore. Now, you don't need to go to a gun store to do this. You don't need to go to Bass Pro Shops. As a matter of fact, those would be the last people that I would want to touch my rifle. They don't really know what they're doing, and they get like very, very small amounts of product training from manufacturers and stuff. And so this is very simple for us to do. You don't need one of those lasers either that you see on social media ads everywhere. You just need your eyesight and some tools. So I'm going to take a screwdriver bit out, put it in this fix-it sticks, because I'm going to have to manipulate the erector system of the scope to drive the reticle to where the bore is pointed. What we're going to do is we're going to get down here and look through that bore and find the target. What we want is to have something real contrasty. Like right now I've got a piece of cardboard with an 8.5 by 11 white sheet of paper. So it's really contrasty. So you're going to put that white piece of paper smack dab in the center of the bore. Then you're going to look through the rifle scope and you're going to say, oh, okay, I am way low. All right. So if I'm way low, that means I have to bring the reticle up. But in order for me to bring the reticle up, it's actually opposite. So if you dial your scope as if it would bring the reticle up, it's going to go opposite. So what we're going to do is we are going to drive the reticle. In this case, I want it to come up, so I need to drive it opposite, and I want to go down. So that's why it's good to have your caps off. And you should also have your zero stop adjustment free if you can, like if you're shooting a night force scope. And if you're not, you want to basically float your turrets. If like you have a built-in zero stop, like a Collis or a ZCO, what you're going to want to do is give yourself, half a rotation, right? So slip the turret, give yourself maybe half the rotation in minutes or mils, which should be like right around, I don't know, 6 or 7 mils, depending on your scope. And then lock that turret back down, and then you're going to have 6 or 7 mils up or down without getting bumped into your zero stop. So double check this. That looks pretty good. All right, we're almost there. I need to come to the right, so that means I'm going to dial left. And if I dial left, I see the reticle go to the right. Check vertical one more time. I have to come up some, so that means I'm going to come down some. Check it. Pretty close, maybe half a mil. Check it. Yeah, we should be on paper. All we're doing is making sure that the rough intersection of the line of sight corresponds with the intersection of the line of bore at 100 yards, because that's where we're going to zero. That's how you bore sight, guys. Best to just leave your turrets off because you're going to dial your stuff anyways. Put your rifle back together and go shoot in 3-round groups, and you'll be zeroed. And if you guys stick to the standard that we have at Modern Day Sniper, you should be able to get this rifle zeroed in 15 rounds or less inside the capability of the circle of components that you have and the accuracy of your rifle. 15 rounds or less. Hold yourself to a higher standard. ModernDayRifleman.com. Get in there, get yourself signed up, get yourself a profile, check out our monthly subscription service. It's where all of our master classes are hosted. Go do it. Don't waste any more time. Don't waste any more rounds. Shooting's expensive. You want to make everything count. So we'll see you guys there. Take it easy.